Tales of Monkey Island is a 2009 graphic adventure video game. There it is again! Ah! Developed by Telltale Guides and Lucas... I shouldn't do that. Give it. And LucasArts. It is the fifth game in the Monkey Island series, released nearly a decade after the previous installment, Escape from Monkey Island. Developed for Windows and the Wii console, the game was released in 5 episodic segments between July and December 2009. In contrast to Telltale's previous episodic adventure games, whose chapters told discrete stories, each chapter of Tales of Monkey Island is part of an ongoing narrative. The game was digitally distributed through WiiWare and Telltale's own website, and later through Steam and Amazon.com. Ports for OS X, the PlayStation Network, and iOS were released several months after the series ended. Players assume the role of pirate Guybrush Threepwood, who, while attempting to destroy his nemesis, the undead pirate LeChuck, accidentally releases a voodoo pox across the Gulf of Melange. With the assistance of his wife, Elaine Marley Threepwood, wow, that's a weird name, Guybrush seeks out a cure. The game was conceived in late 2008 due to renewed interest in adventure game development within LucasArts. It was developed concurrently with LucasArts' special edition of the 1990 title The Secret of Monkey Island. LucasArts oversaw production of Tales of Monkey Island and ensured that it matched the remake in certain areas, such as art direction. Production began in early 2009. Franchise creator Ron Gilbert was involved in the project planning, while development was led by Dave Grossman, who co-designed the first 2 Monkey Island games. The game's music was composed by Michael Land, and the core cast of The Curse of Monkey Island reprised their voice roles. Tales of Monkey Island received generally positive reviews. Critics praised the game's story, writing, humour, voice acting, and characterization. Damn, that's a weird word. OneUp.com described Guybrush as Telltale's strongest and most expressive character yet. The game's music and graphics were also lauded. Complaints focused primarily on the perceived erratic quality of the game's puzzle design, a weak supporting cast in early chapters, and the game's control system. Tales from Monkey Island gathered several industry awards and was Telltale's most commercially successful project until Back to the Future the game. CSI. More CSI. CSI Deadly Intent is a computer game based on the CSI Crime Scene Investigation television series. Now I'm just ripping off stuff from my old video. It's the seventh CSI game released, including CSI Miami and CSI NY. It was released for Microsoft Windows on October 20th, 2009, and for Xbox 360, DS, and Wii on the same day, October 27th, 2009. Boom, man! The game corresponds with the 9th season of the television series and includes characters of Raymond Langston and Riley Adams. The Nintendo DS version of the game is called CSI Deadly Intent: The Hidden Cases and was developed by Other Ocean. It includes 4 original cases created exclusively for that platform. So it isn't really CSI Deadly Intent then, is it? Boom! Get done, son! Sit down! So I'm not going to cover that game because it isn't really Telltale. So yeah. Let's cover the cases from the actual game. Case 1. Broken Hearted. In Case 1, a bride named Lynn Bowder had been murdered in a hotel room. You work with Nick Stokes. The evidence leads to a Vegas visitor named Ari Dominguez, the night manager of the hotel, Charles Steer, and the victim's old friend, Kathy Bird. A referee named Rick Shimada was found dead in the fighting ring. You work with Greg Sanders in this case. The evidence points to an angry fighter named Hank Hackett, a mysterious ring girl named Tina Allens, and the league owner, Horace William. Suspect Hank Hackett is murdered halfway through the case, making this a double homicide. A female TV host named Clarenda Jackson was found drowned to death in a rehab center spa. You work with Dr. Raymond Langston in this case. The evidence leads to the victim's lover, Stephen Thompson, her husband Ernest Goldwasser, and a TV rival named Jack Shell. A famous fire breather named Andrew Levesque was found dead. You work with Riley Adams. In the autopsy, the victim was already dying of cancer, and it seems the victim was abusive and violent. The evidence leads to the victim's landlord and doctor, Vincente Manotto, his wife, Ardrell Levesque, and his 18-year-old stepson, Lyle Fitzer. A, a female impersonator named Wallens B. Gawatowski under alias of Miss A was found dead in a nightclub. He worked with Catherine Willows in this last case. The victim was identified as a superstar, but other identification turns out to be the victim's friend and manager. This murder was staged like a serial killer from 1975. The killer was known as the Barber Street Boozer, the Bay Harbor Butcher. He got this name because he tied his victims down and poured whiskey down their throats until they died of alcohol poisoning. The evidence leads to a superstar known as Marcel, real name Floyd Collister, a homeless man named Gary Beaumont, and a detective that worked on the case back in 1975, Lieutenant Jarvis Briggs. At the end of the case, you solve a celebrity murder in a cold case. That's CSI. I hope that's the only CSI games I've got to do. Do we have any more? Oh god, we've got one more CSI games. Well, that's just great.